Breaking, $15,000 to visit the U.S., new visa bond rule hits in August 2025. Imagine paying $15,000 just to visit your family, and maybe never getting that money back. That's the reality for travelers under Trump's new visa bond pilot program, launching August 20, 2025. This isn't just about stricter entry rules, it's a complete transformation of how visitors from certain countries access the United States. And the financial, emotional, and global impact is massive. The visa bond rule is now official. On August 5, the U.S. government released the final version of the visa bond rule. It targets countries with high overstay rates and weak identity verification systems, reviving Trump's 2020 policy. The rule applies to B1 and B2 visa holders, visitors for tourism or business, who must now post a refundable bond of up to $15,000 before entering the United States. This rule was shelved during the pandemic years but has resurfaced under Trump's second term, alongside travel bans, social media screening, and new integrity fees. Pilot program launches August 20th. The policy takes effect on August 20th, 2025. The Department of Homeland Security and the State Department say it's a 12-month pilot program, but many believe it's just the beginning. 2 countries are already confirmed, Malawi and Zambia. Both have historically high visa overstay rates. Officials warn more countries will be added as enforcement expands. This is not a rumor, it's federal law. If you're from an affected country, visiting the U.S. now requires a huge financial gamble and far less freedom than before. How the visa bond system works. The bond amount ranges from $5,000 to $15,000. The default is $10,000, but consular officers can raise or lower it based on perceived risk or applicant history. Travelers must pay the bond online through a government portal, paid.gov, before traveling. It must be linked to their visa and identity records and fully paid in advance. Refunds are only issued after the system confirms a timely departure and no violation of visa terms. Errors in exit tracking or record mismatches could lead to bond forfeiture. That means even if you follow the rules, you could still lose your money if the system glitches or delays your exit confirmation. One mistake, and it's gone. Major travel restrictions. What's changing? Under this new rule, B1/B2 visas are no longer valid for 10 years. In fact, they're not even valid for 1 year anymore. They're being slashed to just 3 months. That's right, the decade-long travel freedom many visitors relied on is now a 90-day clock. And that's just the start of the changes shaking up the system. Visas are now single entry only. Leave once, even for a quick visit home, and you must reapply, repost the bond, and start the entire process from scratch. The legal stay period is also reduced from 6 months to just 30 days. That means visitors have barely 4 weeks to do everything they came for, and leave. Only 3 airports are allowed for entry. All affected travelers must arrive through one of 3 specific U.S. airports: JFK New York, Boston Logan, or Washington Dulles. This creates massive inconvenience, especially for families living in California, Texas, Florida, or rural areas. Airfare will rise, connections will be harder, delays will increase. Even if you have family in Houston or business in San Diego, your legal port of entry is now limited. One missed connection, and you could be flagged for non-compliance. Family visits will be devastated. This program places an emotional and financial strain on families who simply want to reunite, attend weddings, support relatives, or visit children studying in the U.S. The bond itself is unaffordable for many working-class travelers. $10,000 is often more than a year's income, especially in countries with weak currencies and economic struggles. Now add the cost of airfare, hotels, medical insurance, attorney consultations, and a shortened 30-day stay. For many, these visits will become impossible. Even those who can afford the trip face the fear of losing their money due to tracking errors or unclear departure documentation, which makes the entire system feel like a trap. Business and religious travel will suffer. This rule doesn't only affect family visitors. It's also a blow to international business partnerships, religious tourism, and cultural exchange programs. Executives, entrepreneurs, and partners may cancel meetings or site visits to avoid the visa bond headache. Conference participation and contract negotiations will decline. Religious pilgrims, elderly visitors, and those attending funerals, weddings, or long-duration events now face impossible restrictions and rushed, expensive, one-shot trips. A heavy burden on employers and schools. HR departments and universities may now have to help international guests navigate the system, prepay bonds, or face canceled visits and failed collaborations. Smaller organizations without legal teams or immigration experts will be hit the hardest. A single bond error could disrupt hiring, stall research, or damage critical timelines. Education institutions may also see fewer foreign faculty or visiting researchers, especially from affected countries. America's image as a welcoming global leader is now at risk. Tourism industry at risk. Will international tourists still choose the US when the entry process involves a $15,000 gamble? That's a question hotels, airlines, and travel agencies are now asking. Destinations like Orlando, Los Angeles, and Las Vegas may see declines in visitor numbers. Tour operators in Africa, Asia, and South America are already reporting mass cancellations. Lower-income travelers may abandon U.S. travel altogether, choosing visa-free destinations or countries with clearer, less risky immigration policies. Diplomatic and legal consequences. Experts warn that this program could trigger retaliation from affected countries. They may impose reciprocal bond requirements for U.S. citizens or tighten visa rules in return. Civil rights groups have raised alarms about racial profiling and economic discrimination. The initial countries, Malawi and Zambia, are both low-income African nations. If the list expands disproportionately toward certain regions or demographics, lawsuits are expected. Technical failures or refund delays may also prompt legal challenges. Public backlash and global perception. From the outside, this policy looks like the U.S. is turning its back on the developing world, monetizing trust and weaponizing paperwork. It sends a message that even legal visitors are viewed as potential violators, unless they pay to prove otherwise. That fundamentally shifts the spirit of international travel. America's global image, soft power, and reputation for fairness and openness are all at stake, especially among nations that were once strong allies or trade partners. What travelers should do right now? If you're from or connected to an affected country, start preparing immediately. Check travel.state.gov for updated lists and official rules. Speak with a qualified immigration attorney before booking any travel. Save copies of all exit documents, boarding passes, flight confirmations, and passport stamps. Confirm your entry and exit airport matches the legal list. Don't rely on third-party booking platforms or travel agents who may not know the latest restrictions. Prepare for delays, cancellations, and intense scrutiny at the consulate and border. If you can avoid travel for now, consider waiting for reviews or legal updates. A high price for a short visit. This visa bond program may look temporary on paper, but the consequences are long-term. Once infrastructure and policy mechanisms are in place, reversals become unlikely. If the pilot succeeds politically, it could be expanded to more countries, more visa categories, and more requirements, like biometrics, exit taxes, or surveillance systems. The fear isn't just the $15,000 bond. It's the normalization of travel restrictions that discourage legal entry, penalize innocent visitors, and create a climate of suspicion and fear. Families, businesses, religious institutions, and educational programs will all feel the weight of this shift, and many are already calling it a quiet shutdown of legal immigration pathways. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell icon for future updates. Thanks for watching, see you in the next video.